Hey guys, today we are back with episode number 30 of Truck History. On this episode, we will be following up episode number 29, featuring the history of Leyland Trucks, with another big British truck manufacturer in the history of Foden Trucks. Let's get started. With roots reaching all the way back to as early as 1856, with a man by the name of Edwin Foden, Foden Trucks officially found their beginnings in Sandbach, England, as the Edwin Foden Sons and Company Limited in 1887. In the early days, the company mostly manufactured agricultural equipment and small stationary steam engines, although experimental steam lorries would begin being built shortly after the turn of the 20th century. As World War I took off in 1914, transport demand skyrocketed, resulting in several premier wagon producers like Foden having almost their entire production line flip-flopped in order to accommodate the manufacturing of more military models. After the war was over in 1918, post-war production swapped from primarily overtype trucks to a new focus on undertype models. However, jumping ahead to 1922, Foden started creating the celebrated C-type overtype wagon. Throughout the early 30s, it became apparent to Foden that the future of trucks was diesel, and by 1931, the Foden F1 was introduced and quickly regarded as the first commercially successful diesel lorry. Also serving as the company's very first attempt at a diesel engine vehicle, these 6-ton trucks were wildly successful and still remain a world-renowned rig in Foden's range. 2 years later, in 1933, Foden's son, Edward Richard Foden, or ER for short, would break away from the family business to begin his own opposing lorry building operations under a company he called ERF. From this point forward, the company produced trucks from 4 to 15-ton payloads until the outbreak of World War II in 1939. As the Second World War broke loose, Foden began building approximately 1,700 various wartime workhorses, including several 6x4 Army lorries. Foden reintroduced many older models once World War II was over, and by 1946, Foden had also began building buses. A little later on, in 1948, Foden unveiled their all-new FE and FG lorry lines, which came complete with a freshly designed S18 cab, specifically built for the new range of big rigs. Bus production helped carry the company through the late 40s and early 50s, but ceased after only 10 years in 1956. In 1958, the lightweight, glass-reinforced plastic cabs were put into production, with the very first Foden GRP vehicle, the distinctively styled S21 model. These S21s were originally nicknamed Spaceships or Sputnik, but were eventually known by the more popular Mickey Mouse nickname. Following these ultra-modern, fiercely favored freight haulers came the more traditionally styled metal and wood cab S20 truck, a timeless truck design which also lasted long into the 1960s. Several years later, in 1962, the glass-reinforced plastic GRP cab would come back again, this time in a tilt cab configuration called the S24. As the 60s came to a close, in 1969, the Foden Company collected their first sales in Portugal. The early 70s saw even more expansion as Foden opened up a massive new factory facility, which was designed with an annual production capacity of around 6,000 trucks per year. Sadly, the start of the 70s decade saw a drastic drop in the market, which ultimately collapsed in December of 1974, leaving Foden in the midst of major financial difficulties due to their expansion expenditure and the ongoing economic downturn during the time. Despite these difficulties, Foden forged on and continued to create their two newest models, the Fleetmaster, and the Hallmaster in 1977. These two new trucks both came with Cummins engine options, with the Fleetmaster also offering the availability of a Rolls-Royce engine. Sadly, by 1980, Foden Trucks had fallen out of favor and was placed into receivership, where they were subsequently acquired by American truck manufacturing giant PACCAR. In 1983, Foden Trucks finally launched a new line, including the lightweight Model 2000, the medium-duty Model 3000, and the heavy-duty Model 4000, all of which were offered with Caterpillar engines. Also around this time, Foden made multiple military models on contract. Skipping all the way ahead to 1997, the versatile Foden Alpha 3000 cabover truck was introduced to replace the renowned Model 3000 rig. This Alpha model marked the final Foden product produced by PACCAR and came complete with a Cummins engine in a functional yet stylish design that many said mimicked Leyland DAF trucks. The Alpha vehicle had very good visibility due to its generously sized windows and windshield, and also offered easy cab access with its improved ergonomics. Despite the Alpha's successful debut, the Foden brand didn't have what it took to survive the increasingly competitive, cutthroat truck manufacturing market, and not even PACCAR had the power to pull it through. At the dawn of the new decade and century in the year 2000, Foden's truck production transferred permanently over to the Leyland assembly plant, where it would live out the rest of its life manufacturing DAF truck models, rebadged as Fodens until 2006. If you'd like to learn even more about Leyland trucks, please check out our History of Leyland Trucks video on our channel. Also, if you want to watch more about DAF trucks, be sure to stop by our History of DAF Trucks video, also found on our YouTube channel. Later on, after having announced their plans to cease production the year prior in 2005, PACCAR would produce the final Foden truck in July of 2006, ending an over 150-year-long lifespan. This decision to completely close down the historic company devastated many die-hard Foden fans who felt PACCAR wrongly picked the Leyland and DAF brands over the original and beloved Britain-based manufacturer. Although Fodens are no longer produced, these famous freight haulers are far from being forgotten. Despite the fact these rigs remain a rarity to be seen out on the roads or even at truck shows, there is no hiding the rich history held behind these beautiful big trucks. That brings you up to date with the history of Foden Trucks. Before you leave, make sure you like the video, check out the other videos on our channel, and subscribe. We have finally reached our goal of 35K subscribers, so thank you all so much for your support for the show. Next stop, 50K. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything else you'd like to talk to us about, please be sure to tune into our live podcast, The Chrome Corner, Wednesdays at 12 p.m. noon Eastern Standard Time, and discuss all things Chrome with our host, Dave Coleman. If you'd like to stay up to date with the new projects we have coming, please follow us at Jack's Chrome Show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be sure to buy your big rig the best chrome for your home with some sweet stainless sales, including free freight on SH Tube products, 10% off Hogue Built products, 15% off Roadworks boxes, 20% off Renegade polish, and 15% off Grand General center panels and mud flaps, all on our website at jackschromeshop.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, and remember folks, if your rig don't shine, you don't know Jack.